Hello and welcome to our Halloween special. My name is Emma.
And I'm Claire from Black Cat Paranormal.
So Claire, what have we got in store for this video?
Wow, funny you should ask. This week we are going to be telling some spooky stories, and we're going to be discussing some of our own personal scary experiences, as well as talking about our hoppity hop phobias.
Great.
Okay, so let's get started, I think, with our first story, and it's called The Brave Ones. Here they come again, the brave ones. Another Halloween night and the kids are back here to prove their fearlessness. The old house's floorboards creak beneath their sneakers. Only half an hour until midnight, so I have to work fast. I start with their flashlight blowing lightly against it so that it flickers, but this inspires little more than a nervous giggle. 15 minutes until midnight. Time to take things up a notch. I hover up to the ceiling and will my body into flesh. My every nerve is on fire, but they've given me no choice. I force drops of blood to trickle out of my nose, but the boys below don't notice. I knock against the ceiling, but they won't even look up. I thought this place was supposed to be haunted, says the leader. What a joke. 5 minutes until midnight. I'm running out of time. With the last of my strength, I scream so loud that they finally turn to look up at me. I like to think I put on a good show. I sway on an invisible noose and the blood flows freely from my nostrils now. A couple of drops hit a skinny one with a crew cut. The boys scream and run into the night, just in time. Below me, I hear the thing turn, its disappointment palpable. For now, it sleeps. But one day, I will fail. The boys will be too brave and I won't scare them out in time. One day, they will wake it.
Thank you, Claire, for reading that really spooky story. Now I'm going to read you a story written by Claire and I. The group of kids gathered around a bonfire in the woods. Every now and then they'd throw sticks on the fire to help it grow. The warmth of the fire helped keep the cold night air at bay, yet there was still a chill in the air. The kind of chill that makes your spine feel frozen and the hairs on your arms stand up. A man stormed up to the group. No one saw him coming, so they jumped in alarm at his presence. I demand to know what you are doing here. This is private property, my property. You do not have my permission to be here. He started to walk around the fire, observing the group. Still, I suppose anyone brave enough to come here in the dead of winter is after a good scare. I will give you a good scare if that's what you want. The group sat in silence, watching in awe and fear. Well, do you want it scary or not? He bellowed from the top of his lungs. The echo of his words hung in the air. The group all nodded slowly. No one was brave enough to say anything. The man walked around the fire again, observing his listeners, taking in their fear, noticing the fast breathing. It is not me you should fear. The story I am about to tell you is real enough, and it happened on the moors, on the other side. Now then, you will know about the Black Death, that the plague doctors were hired by towns to come in and diagnose the plague and its victims. The towns paid their salary, so everyone was treated, rich or poor. Everyone had access to a plague doctor. But one doctor, Arnold Bartholomew, he came home to the farmhouse he grew up in, long since abandoned. His family were victims of the Black Death. He had travelled the world and he came back to our shores when the Black Death came. He wanted to help people. He wanted to save lives and to be a hero in the town he grew up in. He underestimated the Black Death. He did everything he could for his patients. If he could save just one life, that would make it all worth it. But nothing worked. His town was dying. He watched people he had grown up with pass and then their bodies burned on fires. He watched his childhood sweetheart fight for her life and lose her battle. They say it all got too much for him, surrounded by nothing but death and destruction. And when you live without hope, there isn't much to cling to. He walked around the town, observed the crosses on the doors. His town was close to being obliterated. Take 3. Then he started to cough. He was last seen running into these woods. No one ever heard from him again. Now the rumour mill went into overdrive. Had he killed himself? Had he been murdered? No one knows. But what I can tell you is that he never left. He haunts the moors over there. I have seen him. Many people have seen him wearing his plague doctor uniform. If you can get close enough on the anniversary of his death, he will scream. Scream so loud it has been said to damage eardrums. As the man walks away, the moon breaks through the clouds and they see a tall figure in a plague doctor's mask and a long black trench coat. How is that for a scary story? Then he disappears, enveloped by the night. As soon as he was gone, the fog lifted and the air was a little warmer.
Thanks for that one, Emma. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I won't be sitting around any campfires anytime soon. I'll be noping out of there faster than you can say plague doctor. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard, but our favourite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings Betsy and I would wake up and on each of our nightstands we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty in the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the house's old furnishings was an antique wooden chair which we kept against the back of the wall in the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch the chair forward across the room, towards us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the centre of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we'd moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she hanged herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room with a woman's body hanging from a noose. Beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair, placed exactly in the centre of the room. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that's got me in a really nice spooky mood for Halloween. How about you, Emma?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
That's
so
what you need on Halloween.
It is indeed. So I think now I should be asking you, what is your favourite spooky experiences? We've had lots and lots of adventures with Black Hat Paranormal. So what would be your favourite spooky moment?
You're going to make me pick just one.
Yeah, because I'm mean.
Okay. Well, has to be when we were at Donington Castle, because we've just got so much stuff there. You know, we've picked up, you know, in fact, when we went there, I didn't tell you where we were going, so you didn't have a chance to look at the history, the ghosts, the legends, anything you didn't know. And when you got there, you reeled off 4 things which I knew were true, but you couldn't have. So when we walked past the gatehouse, you said that there's a ghost of a guard here, and one of the stories there is that there is a guard still stood at the gatehouse.
He's grumpy bugger as well.
Oh yeah. You walked round and you said you felt the presence of a woman. Well, that was another story. There is supposed to be a woman there that's been attacked by a man, and you just kept picking up all these things.
The dog. Remember the dog? And then we picked up a little bark on the EVP. That was a good one.
I remember that, and it definitely didn't. There was no dogs around. No houses for a while, so there's no way you would have heard a dog.
Up the top of a bloody great hill.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was about midnight as well. So
yeah. That's a good one. I think, we've discussed this actually on our podcast, but one of my favourite experiences, again, was Donington Castle, and we were up there, and it must have been near to midnight, and it was just the 2 of us. And for those of you that don't know Donington Castle, it is at the top of a very steep hill, nothing for miles around, and it's just like the castle at the top with the courtyard, and we were sat on your blanket of safety, Johnny Depp's face basically on a towel, but it was our blanket of safety, and we were having a great time because we were scared. So in order to stop being scared, we were making stupid jokes about things, and we made a particular joke, ended up laughing our butts off until we heard a very loud growl over our shoulders, and we kind of both shut up really quickly and then kind of got a bit scared.
And you know what, that actually links in, because at the time obviously we were scared, but we didn't think anything of it, you know. And then later on, when we went back, we made contact with that horrible man.
Oh, on Dead Man's Hill.
So it kind of links. You look back and you think, wow, actually that was probably him.
Yeah, he was a butthead. He was a butthead. Anyone who went in that area, you could tell you weren't wanted, couldn't you? It was, that was a really good one.
People have seen him as well, like at the corner of the eye. You turn around and expect to see someone walking behind you, and there's nothing there. So there's definitely something there. But that is always going to be one of my favourites.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love that place. It is incredible. In fact, the evidence we posted in our last video last week, that was actually from Donington Castle, wasn't it? So we had a guest investigation, didn't we? We invited guests up there with us, and that was a really good one too. We had some great evidence from that, which I'm sure we'll post in the future. So yeah, I agree. I think that's probably my top. We've had some really good ones. We did a place called Friars Walk Shopping Centre in Reading, which unfortunately has been knocked down now.
Real shame.
It is a real shame. We've done the very famous Ostrich Inn,
Yes.
Ancient Ram Inn. Lots.
The Lamb Inn.
The Lamb, the Seal.
There's a lot of pubs on our list, you know.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah, but they're always bloody shut when we get there.
They always shut the bar. Not one of them said, "Oh, do you want a drink?"
I think we had a cup of tea, didn't we? I think at the Ostrich, maybe. But okay, so we talked about spooky experiences. Let's get on to phobias. So, anything in particular you're scared of? No, nothing green, small, slimy, and hoppy.
I'm scared of frogs.
Or Kermit, like. Go on, explain.
So when I was about 6, I was strawberry picking, and I don't know what happened, but I felt something touch my back, and someone made a joke that it was a frog because the frog thought I was a giant strawberry because I was wearing a red coat. And ever since then, I've been terrified of the little buggers, and they torment me. They bully me. There's no other word for it.
What do you think they're going to do to you?
Just I don't know, but literally, if I see a frog, you wouldn't see me for a mile.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I can't stand
No,
them.
I don't mean to make light of your phobias, because phobias are horrible, horrible things.
They jump out at me. Like, we had a garden in our last
coming
place.
right for me.
This frog was vicious. He was nasty.
Like a mafia frog.
Yeah. He lived in the garden. He could have left. There were holes under the fences. Plenty of opportunities to go, but he didn't. He lived in the garden. Every time I went out there, he was there. I was watering the flowers, and he'd jump at me. He did it deliberately, I swear. He knew.
Oh my God. So I know, make sure we never do an investigation somewhere that's got frogs.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take over
unless
my life,
I want a real laugh, and then
God,
just
you won't see me for dust.
Get a fake frog and just like throw it at you.
Oh my God.
Midnight. No, I would never do that.
I would wet myself.
Yeah, I would never ever do that, because it is horrible phobias. Anything else, or is it just
it's
frogs?
mainly frogs. I mean, it doesn't take over my life. It doesn't stop me going anywhere. But if one does jump out at me, I will run a mile. So
yeah,
I hate them. I just we don't wish anything bad to happen to them, because we do need them. But just stay away from me. That's all I ask.
Poor Kermit.
Oh, he's all right. He's an exception. He talks,
That's more scary. Surely a talking frog's going to be scarier than a strawberry frog. Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm
Go on then, what's yours?
I don't have any, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I do, and you don't laugh at me, because it's stereotypical.
Go on.
I hate spiders.
Obviously.
With it, and this is something that will overtake my life, because if it's in my way and I need to go out, I will just stay where I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrified, and I've had a couple of experiences. The first one was when I was quite small, and I was out of a cot. I was into like a proper bed, but I just nodded off, and I felt something on my face, on my cheek. And I kind of opened my eyes, and I went like that with my hand, and this massive, and I'm not. I mean, I was small, obviously, but this was huge. Spider crawled like across my eye and down my face, And ever since then, I've been absolutely terrified. I mean, it might have been last year, I think. I was getting ready to go out to the Reading Festival, and I walked into the porch of my house to get my jacket, and I felt something on my forehead, and I kind of went like that, and it went down my face onto my chest, and it was a big spider. And I literally screamed at the top of my lungs, kind of batted it off myself, shut the door, come back in here, and just trembled and cried.
So I just move out, let the spider out the house.
Yeah. In fact, only a couple of the other one, and you're going to laugh at this considering the kind of movies that I like, and you know what I like watching, is clowns.
Clowns?
Yes.
You love it though.
I know. But no, I do love... I love to hate Pennywise. Yeah, he's an amazing clown. The original Tim Curry, awesome.
Legend.
To some degree, I think Tim Curry's clown scares me more than the new one, because I think he's because he is genuinely a good clown, you know. And that's what makes him so scary. But yeah, with me, I this is showing my age now, but it was back when circuses still had animals in. This was a long time ago. And there were clowns there, and one of them, I was really small, and one of them had come over to me and was trying to thrust balloons at me, and you know, they have like the face paint that makes their mouths look really big and curved, and I don't know, something about him freaked me out, and everything in me just wanted to punch him and run away. And ever since then, terrified.
I don't mind clowns when they're in situ. If they're in the circus, fine, crack on. But if someone was out in the street dressed as a clown, no.
No, I don't care if they're in a circus. I do not care that. No.
Do you remember the clown thing a couple of years ago?
Oh, people just dressed up in the street jumping out, yeah.
Wrong.
I don't get that at all. I don't understand why.
See, that scares me, because clowns don't belong on the street. You know, they belong in the circus.
Clowns don't belong, full stop. There's just not a place. Why? I mean, obviously, I know we've got Gacy, who was like probably, other than the most famous clown is in John Wayne Gacy. But I was never scared of clowns because of serial killers. I was just scared of clowns because they're
the makeup.
Satan incarnate.
Yeah, I'm actually related to a clown.
Ah, get out. Why are you only just telling me that?
So it just popped into my head. Yeah, this guy, Lord George Zanker, he had a circus. He lived in Newbury, and he started a circus, toured all over the world. He was close to Queen Victoria, and there's some statues in Victoria Park in Newbury that he actually paid for, as a memento to Queen Victoria.
Oh.
And he was a clown. Died when he got hit by a lamp.
That's sad. But he was a clown, so he kind of deserved it. I know that's a horrible thing to say.
It was so funny that he
no one did. I just want to put a little disclaimer in. No one deserves it. So I don't mean he deserved to die. Clowns in general. Yeah, I don't like them. They make me ever sad. But yeah, so that's mine. Our lovely cameraman Wayne, I don't think he has any phobias. He's quite kind of very rough, calm, rugged. Isn't he? Yeah, he's too chilled out to be scared of things.
Imagine him being scared. We'll have to ask him now.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, when we see him, we'll ask him. Section below. What are some of your favourite spooky stories? Or do you have any phobias?
Please, anyone who's scared of frogs, comment and prove to Claire that I'm not alone. David Beckham's actually scared of frogs. I just googled that.
That is actually interesting. Yeah, a bit off topic there. Anyway, let us know in the comments section below if you like this content. While you're down there, if you could please like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and please hit the bell icon to make sure you'll never miss another one of our spooky stories. Okay, thanks for now and stay spooky.